Hi guys, it's me Jaden, and I'm gonna be telling you guys about my March reads. I read 9 books in March, and I'm gonna rate them out of 1 out of 5, and then tell you what I thought about them. If I have spoilers for any of them, I'll let you know, and then you can just skip ahead to the next one. Alright, so the first book I read in March is What Have We Done? I rated this book 4 stars. So the book was really good. I really liked it. I really liked all the characters and the perspectives in the book. The one thing I didn't like about the book was that there was a perspective, and the pop culture references just took me out of the writing and the reading. There was a line in particularly when they talk about Spider-Man No Way Home, and one of the people in this perspective was like, you know that movie, that Spider-Man movie with all the different, versions of Spider-Man? Well, we're just the evil doppelgangers or something around those lines. And it just, took me out of the book. And I couldn't. a lot of that perspective just took me out of the book. The rest of the perspectives were fine. It was just that one, especially those lines. So that's why I only rated it 4 stars. Next book after that is If Only I Had Told Her, and it's the sequel to If Only I Had Been With Him, or If Only He Had Been With Me. It's If Only He Had Been With Me. So I rated this one 4.5 stars. See, this book is almost perfect. I would have rated it 5 stars, but we get Finn's perspective in this book compared to Autumn's in the first one, and Finn gives huge red flag energy in his perspective in this book. Like, he punches walls, and he has very obsessive behavior for Autumn compared to in the first book where we just saw Autumn's perspective. So from Finn's perspective, he's so possessive over Autumn, and he's just so jealous that I'm so glad that he died. Autumn does not need to be with this man. So I'm glad that he died. All the rest of his perspectives in this book are fine. It's just Finn's was just big red flag energy. After that, I read Hatchet Girls, and I gave this one 3.5 stars. So this book, I'm going to go into spoiler territory because I can't talk about it without going into spoilers. So if you don't care, go ahead and listen to me talk, and if you do care, just skip to the next one. So Phil and Morella's endings, in my opinion, were really weird, especially Phil's and how he died. It was just like, okay. Morella's was really weird too, which just ended her being super popular and celebrity, if I remember correctly. Again, really weird. The book was really hard to get into in the beginning, but then I got into it slowly. It wasn't what I expected from the synopsis. It seemed like it was a traditional murder mystery, and it wasn't. It was still good, but it just wasn't what I was expecting. Also, this book takes place in Massachusetts and uses a lot of Massachusetts locations. I've never been to Massachusetts. I didn't look up any of the locations used in this book. Probably should have. Would have helped me with my reading. But I didn't, so I imagined what they look like, and it didn't help. And so they would use a lot of Massachusetts locations, and I was really confused. Also, Phil uses a Massachusetts accent in this one, and it's written as such. But nobody else has a Massachusetts accent, and so when Phil's making his big speech, he's saying this in this Massachusetts accent, and sometimes it's funny when it's not. It's supposed to be this big serious moment sometimes, and it's just really funny when he's saying it in this accent. So it would just take me out of it. After that, I read Gwen and Art Are Not in Love. I rated this one 4 stars. I really liked this book. I remember giggling and laughing during this book because their relationships, or the relationships they're in, are so cute, and how they interacted, again, were so cute. It was very much enemies to lovers vibes, which is good. Even though they're not lovers at all, they find different lovers, but the vibe they were giving to it was very much enemies to lovers. Their relationships in the book do the cliche, oh, we need to break up in the third act before they reconcile at the end. So that was very cliche, which makes sense because it's enemies to lovers vibes. There's something's gotta happen. There was also a big battle at the end of the book. I didn't care for the battle. I'm like, come on, hurry this up. I just want to finish. I don't care about this war. I don't care. So that's why I gave it 4 stars. After that, I read Girl on Fire. I rated this book 4.5 stars. This book is almost perfect, in my opinion, but I would not read this book again. There was a scene in this book that I had to sit on it and not touch the book for a few minutes afterwards, because of what happens to the main character. I just had to sit, and I had to put the book away because of something traumatic that happens to the main character. I guess the ending of the book halfway through it, which I didn't mind, but it was just kind of predictable. There's an epilogue and a prologue to the book, and the prologue made me think that the story was going to go one way, and then it didn't, and then the prologue kind of connected to the epilogue, which makes sense. But prologue made me think something was going to happen, and it never did. So it was like, okay, I guess that's what the author was trying to do. It just did not work for me. And yeah, it just did not work for me. After that, we have A Drop of Venom. And I rated this one 5 stars. I really liked this book. This was a retelling of Medusa. And it didn't go how I expected it, but I really, really loved this book. I loved the relationships between the two leads, and I was rooting for them in the relationship the entire time. It was so good. Once I got into this book, I did not want to put it down because I was so into it. It was so good. It was so good. Again, I love the growing relationship between the main characters. When she eventually does become into Medusa, her powers are very different than what I expected. You think the traditional Medusa powers, but her powers are very different, and I really love that for her. The ending of the book makes me want to learn more about these characters. I want a sequel of this book. And the way the book ended, it made me seem there was going to be a sequel on the way, and it's going to be Persephone retelling, which I'm totally for because I love Greek retellings, Roman retellings, and I think the next one's going to be a Persephone retelling, and I'm so ready. I want to see more of these characters. I want to see a Persephone retelling. I am ready for it. After that, I read The Feeling of Falling in Love. This one I rated 5 stars. So this one was a little gay romance, and it was so cute. I loved the cover of the book, and the cover was what actually drew me into the book, and I'm so glad I picked this book up because it was so good. I don't read a lot of rom-coms. Most of the books I've read, if you haven't figured out, are murder mystery or young adults. But I actually read a couple rom-coms this month. But I was laughing and giggling throughout this book, and it was so cute. Wyatt and Neil are definitely enemies to lovers. So cute. Again, laughing, giggling. There are not a lot of nice odes to rom-com movie moments in this book and how they would actually be portrayed in real life. And I really love that because you see the movies and they're all these romantic gestures and they automatically get accepted and I love you. And then, it happens in real life and it's what are you doing? It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Come inside and take a nap. Come in and sleep. I'm just still mad at you, but I'm not gonna let you sleep on my porch. It was so cute. Book was really cute, really sweet. I would read this book again. Alright, and then the next book I read after that was The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein. I rated this one 5 stars as well. I really love this book. The cover was really cute too. I would definitely read this book again. Thought I was going to get one thing with a synopsis of this book, but it turned tried something different, which I did not mind. I really liked that it was something different. Elizabeth and Victor are in a very toxic and codependent relationship. They very much depend on each other, and they're very toxic for each other. But I'm glad that one of them tries to get out of it because they realize how toxic and how codependent they are on each other, and they try to stop this relationship before it gets worse. And I really, really like that. The ending of the book left me with a good conclusion, and it left me with a question at the end, because of how this Elizabeth progressed through the story and how it ended. I was like, okay, what happened to her at the end? Like, yes, she's alive, but what is she at the end? And then the last book I read in March was Truly Madly Deadly. I rated this one 2.75 stars. So the book had an interesting premise, but not very good follow through. Sawyer and Kevin's relationship is not developed well. We get like little flashbacks of what happened between them, but it's very few. Like you see what happened between them. You get the picture of what happened between them, but it's only very barely. Another thing about this book is that characters will get randomly introduced, and they're like, it's this person, and I'm like, I don't know who this person is. Why should I care about this person? I have no idea what they look like, and then you never introduce them again. So how am I supposed to picture them? Why am I supposed to care? Because I don't know who this person is. I don't know what they look like. And look, I'm never going to see this person again. So why introduce them in the first place? This would happen a lot in this book. And it was just like, am I missing something? I felt I was doing that a lot with this book. I would have to reread portions of this book because I felt like I was missing stuff because things just felt left out. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know about these situations. I don't know about these characters. So why should I care? I was yelling at Sawyer because she was making stupid decisions throughout this book. Good thing this book was short. Like, I finished this in like a day, but it was just, this book made me mad. When we figure out who the killer is, it's very stupid, it's cliche, and it comes out of nowhere. The reasoning is like, I love you, but there's no reasoning other than that. And I'm like, I don't care. I need more than that. I need more than just the I love yous and whatnot. I need why you decided to do this. I need why you love this person. I need the details, and I wasn't getting that. It was just I did this because I love you, and it's like, I need more than that. I just can't take you on the I love yous. I need more. And then afterwards, the book abruptly ends, which I hate. I hate when a book abruptly ends, and I'm like, cool, I just wasted time, and I don't know what's gonna happen next because the book abruptly ends. So yeah, I did not like this book. I'm glad so far out of the four books I got from Barnes and Noble in March, 2 of them have been 5 stars. We have, Truly Madly Deadly, which is almost 3, and then I'm reading one right now that I'll get through in April, and I'll tell you guys about it. But so far, we're doing okay with my Barnes and Noble books. So yeah, those are the 9 books I read in March. If there are any books that you want me to read, let me know down below, and I'll try to fit them in April or another month. If you have any comments or anything like that, just let me know down below. And see you guys next month.